Prompt payment discount question. So customer's been offered a prompt payment discount within 10 days. Show the two actions that should be taken if the customer takes the discount and pays within 10 days. So just knock this one out. Say a minute for this one. Okay, so let's go through. So what two actions should be taken if the customer takes the discount and pays within 10 days? So record the amount received in the cash book and ledger. So they paid. So we are going to have to record the amount received in the cash book and ledgers. So it is answer A. So that's the first one. So it's this one here. That one's right. Change the amounts of the original invoice? No, you wouldn't. Prompt payment discount? You wouldn't. You don't adjust the original invoice. So no to this one. No. Issue a new invoice for the amount paid? No, you wouldn't issue a new invoice for the amount paid either. So you wouldn't do that one either. And this one here, issue a credit note, is a credit note for the discount taken plus VAT. Okay, so this question is not technically correct. That could be an action because it should be taken. I suppose it should. You know, it could. It's really more could be taken really, because actually the initial invoice could have VAT is only payable on amounts paid on the invoice, in which case at that point, when we allow a discount, we don't actually have to issue a credit note because that's already taken into account in the initial sort of sales invoice. So it is D because you have to roll with it and find what the second answer is. It's not technically D, really, in that it would more could than should if the initial invoice didn't have that on. So you have to be mindful that if there was a question that had like an invoice and they provided a sales invoice and it had the wording at the bottom, the correct wording, which has said that VAT is only payable on the amounts paid, then this wouldn't be the answer. But because it's not given that invoice and because it's the only answer that could actually make sense here in there, it is the answer, but by default rather than because it's definitely the right answer in there. So the answer is A and D in there, but actually it's not a great question, this one really. I would say though AAT continually make this position within their questions. So you have to sort of roll with it and sort of accept it there though. But just be mindful that one day the examiner might wake up and put a sales invoice in there which has the wording on it, in which case it wouldn't be. That's D, and I don't know, but I don't know whether that might be just too harsh and too hard a question really. So that's the answer.